Hey everybody, it's Josh. Welcome back to the Wilton Report. And real estate is not about price in this market, it's about trade-offs. And today we're going to do a 5-town comparison of what 1.5 million can buy you. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Wilton Report. I am Josh Wilton. I am the co-owner of Queenston Realty and the leader of the Wilton Group. And on the Wilton Report, we talk residential real estate about Princeton, West Windsor, all the surrounding towns. If you haven't hit subscribe, please hit the subscribe button. Today is going to be a fun episode. We're going to show you exactly what 1.5 million can buy you in 5 different towns in the Princeton market area. So let's get to it. So we're going to do Princeton versus West Windsor versus Montgomery versus Hopewell versus Lawrenceville. And we are going to give you some pretty exact specs of what your money can buy you. So let's check it out. So going by the numbers, right? So the average single family home price by town, let's just cover that. Princeton's 1.775 million. That's just an outrageous number. So the average single family home in Princeton is 1.775. I excluded 55 plus from this segment. We're going to cover that as well. West Windsor, the average single family home is 1.058. Again, just an incredible number post-COVID run-up. Montgomery, single-family home, 1.127 million. Incredible that Montgomery's at that number. Hopewell, 881,000 for single-family home. Lawrenceville, 653,000 for single-family home. So it's, again, location buyer, home buyer, right? And that's really what we're going to talk about in today's episode. Townhouses, the average price, not the median, the average price by town. Princeton for a townhouse, 1.097, right? One just sold last week. It was a real fixer-upper everything was original from 1974, sold over $900,000, right? Bought the town. West Windsor, average townhouse, 732,000. Montgomery, 632,000. Hopewell, 577,000. And Lawrenceville, $429,000. So you can see there is a massive disparity in pricing for this more or less the same housing product, square footage notwithstanding. For the 55 plus market, the average price for 55 plus product in Princeton doesn't exist because it doesn't exist as a product to sell. West Windsor, 636,000. Montgomery's 801,000. There's some very luxe 55 plus markets in Montgomery. Hopewell, 637. Lawrenceville, 460. So again, if you're 55 plus, you're like, I don't need the schools, I don't need, whatever. This is sort of your price deltas for each town, and you kind of have to decide. You want to be close to town? Do you want to, be a little bit further from Princeton, the trains, whatever. So let's get into what the average livable square footage is for a $1.5 million house by town. So you're buying a $1.5 million house in Princeton, the average square footage, and this is from the last 90 days of 2025. The average square footage for a $1.5 million house is 2,600 square feet. That's a pretty big house, by the way. Plenty big for, family of 5 or whatever. So, by most standards. West Windsor, the average, and again, this is 2025, the last 90 days closed in that $1.5 million segment, 3,300 square feet. So substantially bigger, not quite 1,000 square feet bigger than Princeton, but substantially bigger. Montgomery, 3,500 square feet. So again, 1,000 square feet more for the same price as you're paying in Princeton. And Lawrenceville, 4,200 square feet, same price. Hopewell, 4,800 square feet. So massive price, massive size difference, same price house. So, why does Princeton have a premium? Because it's close to the biggest job center in Mercer County, which is Princeton University. Baby boomers are selling out of these other towns and moving to Princeton because they want to be walked to town. I was on a customer yesterday relocating from Old Town, Alexandria, Virginia. And he lives in a very vibrant, semi-urban setting, and he wants that. So he's moving to Princeton. People that want more space, they will move to Montgomery, Lawrenceville, West Windsor, Hopewell, etc. So this is the other, numbers I want to kind of talk to you about today. I made this up, right? So you're not going to Google this and find this. I guess you could with AI, but the square footage value index, okay? Princeton, I gave a 4. So you get the least for the most, meaning the smallest house for the most money, just on a square footage, not location, not schools, just size of the house. That's it. West Windsor, I assigned a 7, a little bit better. Montgomery, 8. Lawrenceville, 9. Hopewell, 9, because they're pretty comparable in terms of what you can buy for square footage. So some big, disparities in, size of house for the same amount of money that you can buy. Now I'm going to give you examples of a $1.5 million house, like actual examples. They just closed in the last 90 days of 2025. And I'm going to show you a photo. It's going to pop up behind my head. And I'm going to give you the basic specs of it because I want you to understand there's a huge disparity in these homes. So the first one, 144 Bell Glades in Montgomery. This is a Grasso home, a very well-known builder in Montgomery, classic brick front colonial, 2-car garage, right? It has the attic space. It's 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, 4,300 square feet. It's got 2 primary suites, which is pretty interesting. One down, one up. And again, as housing gets more expensive, it tends to become multi-generational. It's got a full finished basement. It's got a really beautiful pool area, highly updated, had a major renovation and updates about 7 years ago. So high level of finish, pool, finished basement, 2 primary suites. So the primary suite can be up or down, right? Or, mom or whomever can live in that suite. So the next one I want to talk to you about is 30 Revere Court in West Windsor. Again, classic brick front colonial. I would say, I've never done this scientifically, but I'd say brick fronts sell more than other types of houses. 5 beds, 4.5 baths. Interestingly, 5,000 square foot colonial in West Windsor. However, it was dated, right? So, Bell Glades was really mint, updated, renovated, kind of like a 7-year-old to 10-year-old renovation. 30 Revere, 20, 20 plus year old kitchen, tile. Things just get dated so quickly by today's standards. So again, massively big house for West Windsor, well located, beautiful backyard, no pool, not a finished basement, but it's 5,000 square feet and it's dated. So the next one I want to talk about, 3 Western Pine in Hopewell. This is a really pretty house. Again, brick front colonial. By the way, I didn't Google brick front colonials. This is just what came up as close to that $1.5 million line. Interestingly, it's only a 4-bed, 3.2 bath colonial. It was about 3,800 square feet. Pretty good condition. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say it's an 8, move-in ready, updated, but it's smaller. However, it's on 1.5 acres, right? And it has, and look it up, 30 Revere in Hopewell. It has the most beautiful pool you've ever seen. And it's got a double pool house, one on each side of the pool with a sitting area under a pergola. It's really beautiful. It's got stone paths out to the pool. It's a very exquisite setup in the backyard. People pay premium for that post-COVID. So again, 30 Revere in Hopewell, 4 beds, 2.5 baths, 1,000 square foot less than some of the sample sizes. But again, you're paying for almost 2 acres, privacy, pool, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then you have 5 Foxcroft in Lawrenceville, right? So Foxcroft is a 5-bed, 6.5 bath house, 5,300 square feet. Pretty good condition. It's got a pool and a tennis court. So about that 1.5 range in Lawrenceville gets you an initial, compared to the other properties, initial 2,000 square feet, a pool and a tennis court, very good condition overall, definitely some renovated baths, etc. Some of the rooms had wallpaper, whatever, but again, massive house, 5,300 square feet versus kind of sample sizes of, 3 and 4, right? Jumping to Princeton, 185 Terhune. Ironically, another Grasso house, not intentional. So 185 Terhune is a split level. So what's a split level? It's sort of like a 1950s style house, very popular in Princeton, parts of Lawrenceville, older communities, I would say. And this is a 2,700 square foot house, mint, completely renovated, completely repurposed on the inside, 4 beds, 3.5 baths, and it has a pool, but the pool like is the backyard. You go out the backyard, you take about 4 steps, you're in the shallow end. But it's very close to town. It's close to the high school, close to the middle school, but it's literally 2,500 square feet less than a house that you're going to buy in Lawrenceville with a pool, tennis court, right? 6.5 baths. So stylistically, this is kind of where buyers have to choose. Am I a location buyer? Do I want my kid to turn left out of Cherhune, walk to the high school? Or do I want, that big 6.5 bath, 5-bedroom plus house with a pool and a tennis court and grounds, et cetera, et cetera? The nice part is it's all accessible in Princeton, greater Princeton area. The hard part is choosing, right? So if you want to have a consultation, you can always reach out. You can shoot us an email or text. My contact information's on the banner. That being said, thank you for tuning into the Wilton Report. Subscribe if you haven't already. My name is Josh Wilton, and this is the Wilton Report. Thanks, everybody.